Chapter 15 of Born to Good Luck by a Self-Made Man. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 15. A Nervy Venture and What Came of It. One day toward the end of March, Dick was taking lunch in a Fulton Street chop house when two well-dressed men entered the place and sat down at the opposite side of the table. They were talking about some real estate deal they had in contemplation, and did not appear to regard the boy's presence as a bar to their conversation. "We can get a 30-day option on the property for $1,000 pending examination of title," said the shorter man of the two after the waiter had taken their order. "The old man's bedrock price for the entire 30 acres is $12,000 cash. He wanted $15,000 at first. Allowing for streets, we can get out of it 12 city lots per acre, or 360 lots altogether. The corner lots will fetch $125 to $150 each, and the inside ones, say $100 according to location. That means we should realize about $40,000 in the gross. You figured out the expense of cutting through the streets, the cost of having the title guaranteed, probable cost of printing and newspaper advertising, commissions to agents, and so forth. The location of the property is good. The Long Island Main Line is a station close by, and the main street of Sodom can be extended through the property. Old man Durwood is clearly anxious to sell, or he wouldn't let it go at that figure. It's easily worth $16,000 to us as it stands, and I would give that for it sooner than let it slip through my hands." "It's a good speculation," said the tall man, nodding his head. "Thompson and Davis are in this with us, I believe. Thompson's ready to put up a certified check to his share at any moment. I will see and settle with Davis this afternoon. Tomorrow morning I'll go out to Sodom and get the option and the deed from Durwood." The talk then branched off on the plans of the speculators for improving the property and putting it in shape for sale at lot prices. Although Dick apparently paid no attention to what the real estate men were saying, nevertheless he was an interested listener to their conversation. It happened that the Long Island estate to which the lad made weekly visits was in the neighborhood of the village of Sodom. He had a speaking acquaintance with Jonas Durwood, the owner of the 30 acres referred to above, and knew something about the property in question. It had been on the market for some time. Durwood had been offering it at $15,000, 1/3 cash, balance on a 5-year mortgage. The four real estate men evidently intended purchasing the property at the reduced figure for spot cash, with the view of cutting it up into lots and then disposing of them at a good profit on the whole investment. So, thought Dick, they would sooner give $16,000 than let it slip through their fingers. A 30-day option on it can be had for $1,000. Well, I've got $1,000 lying idle. What's the matter with my stealing a march on this syndicate of 4, getting the option myself, and then making them come to terms with me? If they should refuse to deal with me, it might put me in a hole, but I guess Mr. Nesbitt would see me through, for that piece of ground is well worth $15,000 at any rate. Dick thought he saw a fine chance to make $3,000 or $4,000 inside of a month if he took the thing on the fly. "Nothing ventured, nothing gained," he muttered as he drew near the office. "By the great horn spoon, I'll do it. My bank book is upstairs. I'll draw the money and take it down with me to Sodom this afternoon, for fortunately this is the day I'm due there. When that chap goes down tomorrow, he'll find that someone else has got ahead of him. Gee, won't he be hopping mad? Well, I guess." It was Dick's rule not to let the grass grow under his feet when he embarked on an enterprise. Therefore he hustled to get his money and left on an early afternoon train for Sodom. He hunted up Jonas Durwood right away and made him a $12,000 cash offer for 30 acres. What? You want to buy that ground, eh?" "Who for? Mr. Nesbitt?" said Durwood in some surprise. "I want a 30-day option. I want you to put it in my name. Here's $1,000 to bind the bargain, see?" Jonas Durwood saw the bills, and the sight of them melted all further opposition he may have thought of advancing with a view of a better figure. The preliminaries were settled on the spot. Dick got the option and the deed to the property, and Durwood got 10 $100 bills. Both parties to the contract were satisfied. "Now," said the boy after the settlement had been effected, "there was a man down here negotiating with you for this land. Have you his name and address?" "Yes," replied Durwood. "You want it?" "I'd like to have it." Mr. Durwood produced a card and handed it to Dick. "Now, Mr. Durwood, if this man shows up here tomorrow or any time soon, and he asks you who bought the property, just give him my card, will you?" "Certainly," answered the Sodom resident. Dick then left him and went over to the estate to attend to such business as awaited him there. Next afternoon a very much excited individual called at Mr. Nesbitt's offices and inquired for Richard Armstrong. It was a short, stout man who had done most of the talking at the restaurant. Dick was out, and the man waited till he returned. He was vastly surprised to find that the Armstrong he wanted was a boy. "Did you purchase an option on Mr. Durwood's property at Sodom yesterday?" he inquired in a nervous tone. "Yes, sir, I did." "For whom, may I ask?" "For myself." "What?" exclaimed the visitor in amazement. "You secured an option on those 30 acres for yourself?" "Yes, sir." "Do you expect me to believe such a ridiculous story as that?" demanded the stout man sarcastically. "Come on, now, tell me who you represent." "I've told you. I represent myself. I bought those 30 acres because I found out I could get them at a low price. They're worth $16,000 if they're worth a cent." "Nonsense!" exclaimed the man impatiently. "What do you mean by that?" asked Dick coolly. I mean, it's sheer nonsense for you to say that property is worth $16,000. Well, what do you think it's worth?" "In my opinion, $12,000 is nearer its value." "We won't argue the matter. I hold a 30-day option on the property. Is that all you wish to see me about?" Dick was thoroughly cool and businesslike, and the stout man seemed puzzled as to what he would say next. "I'll tell you what," he said presently. "I was looking at that piece of ground myself, and had some idea of buying it. If you'd like to turn your option over to me, I'll give you $500 bonus." Dick shook his head. "No, couldn't think of it." "What will you take for the option?" $5,000 cash." "5,000 furies!" yelled the man, looking at the boy as though he would like to have eaten him. "No, sir," said Dick with a faint grin. "Not furies, but dollars." "Young man, what do you take me for?" Dick smiled pleasantly, but made no answer. I'll give you just $2,000 for that option." "I can do better than that," replied the boy politely. "How can you?" asked the stout man incredulously. "A syndicate has been formed to buy that property for speculative purposes." "What?" gasped the real estate man, staring hard at Dick. "That's right. I don't mind telling you how I came to buy the land. My business takes me down to Sodom once a week. I knew the Durwood property was in the market, and have a very clear idea of its value. As soon as I got the tip that speculators were after it, I made up my mind to scoop the ground myself if I could get it low enough. I made Mr. Durwood a cash offer, and we came to an agreement. Mr. Nesbitt will examine the title in a few days, and if everything is all right, he will close the deal as trustee for me. That's all there is to it." "How did you learn about this syndicate, and who are the men that compose it?" asked the stout man with an ill-disguised eagerness. "You'll have to excuse me answering those questions, Mr. Blake," replied Dick, looking at the man's card, which he held in his hand. "Then you won't accept an offer of $2,500 for your option?" said the visitor. "No, sir. Any time within the 30-day limit after Mr. Nesbitt has passed on the title, you or the syndicate or any other person can purchase that option for an advance of $4,000 over what I paid down." "I will consider the matter, Mr. Armstrong. Good day." A few days later, Dick received an offer in writing from Mr. Blake, accepting his figure, contingent on Mr. Nesbitt's assurance that Jonas Durwood would furnish a clear title, and that the same would be guaranteed by the lawyer's Title Guarantee and Trust Company. Dick closed with him on those terms, and a week before the option expired, the delighted boy received a certified check for $5,000. And the Blake crowd closed the deal and came into possession of the property. It was not only a red-letter day in Dick's life, but his 17th birthday. End of chapter 15.